we could almost say two professional entertainers, couldn't we, gentlemen? Yes, almost say. We don't want to get too much carried away. These two gentlemen have actually performed all over our area. They've performed many times on Radio Lancashire, and of course they were on the Fringe at the Edinburgh Festival last year as well, and they're pretty successful wherever they go. So we thank them for coming in, because also they're giving their time and their experience free for comic relief. And all the entertainers performing today on television as well. I forgot to mention that.
Yes, it's free. Yes, completely free.
All the entertainers are actually appearing free of charge. So, gentlemen, would you like to take your positions either side of this microphone and take us away with a small sketcherette?
Right, and first of all, today with the time, with the small hand just before the 12 and the big hand between the 8 and 9, here is the news. 150 people were killed yesterday in the civil war which is raging in the independent African state of Ebola-Naraza-Rozawazwe. The war erupted last week after the president and Tango and Cha-Cha and Foxtrot announced that the TV station would not be buying any more episodes of Dallas. Camps are being set up to cope with refugees, but with the influx of battery-portable televisions, there is a serious threat of an outbreak of dynasty.
And EastEnder Mr. Bert Stubbs was turned down today when he applied for the job of human cannonball at a circus starring exclusively ex-public schoolboys. Said a spokesman, "We're looking for a man of much higher calibre."
At a raid on an illegal arms factory in Ireland today, police only managed to make one arrest. The man was taken to Dublin Police Station where he was charged with creating a piece of the breach.
And a local Blackburn man who bought a chest freezer, a back boiler and a ball bearing has complained to the Consumer Council. He claims that since he bought them, his chest has been freezing, his back has been boiling, and he's been arrested 3 times for indecent exposure.
We've just heard about a man who has invented an amazing new type of camouflage net. In a demonstration last week, he covered 3 tanks, a Land Rover and an armoured car. A spokesman for the Ministry of Defence said the Army are still looking for them.
Irish pickpocket Dip O'Grady was given 3 years today. He stole the wallet of eminent chemist Sir Arthur Retort's stand, which contained a ticket for an award ceremony. He was arrested when he turned up to claim the Nobel Prize for Physics.
And we've just received word of a new British film in production. It's about a day at the seaside and will feature American writer Jules Pfeiffer, some cats, Hoss from Bonanza, 2 men doing impressions of Gilly Potter, and Candice Bergen's sister Ellen. It's going to be called Gilly, Gilly, Hoss and Pfeiffer, Cats and Ellen Bergen by the Sea. And now, on to today's horoscopes. And first of all, Aquarius. Venus is in the ascendancy over Jupiter, watched over by Pluto in the constellation of Orion just beyond Rajal 3, West Bromwich Albion 4, thus forming a right-angled triangle of which you are the hypotenuse, Aquarius. This makes you 4 times as square as you usually are, so get out the sensible shoes.
And Pisces. You are terribly worried about your dyslexia, Pisces, but on the advice of a friend, you will stop reading The Guardian and find you're cured. Sometimes the simplest remedies work best, you see.
Yes. Aries, at 2:15 this afternoon, your son Simon will be discovered snorting cocaine behind the bike sheds at school. You will rush down, determined to discover who the pusher is and get him put away. Simon will get 5 years.
Taurus. Someone tells you remind them of Norman Tebbit, Taurus. Unfortunately, the arsenic doesn't work because the sell-by date has expired. And rather than kill you, it merely turns you into a psychopathic monster. Everyone tells you remind them of Norman Tebbit.
Gemini, your inbred sense of order should prevail in your everyday life this week. Now is the time to do all those little jobs you've been putting off for so long. Go on, Gemini, clean out the attic, spring clean the kitchen, tell each of your kids who their father really is, dig that first husband up from the rose garden, the herbaceous border, wherever, but you'll have to remember the dustbin men won't take all those plastic bags at once. You'll have to ring the council and make arrangements. But then this is just the week for that, isn't it, Gemini?
And Cancer. Mars in conjunction with Neptune would seem to suggest that all Cancerians sometime during the day will suddenly begin to talk total gibberish. Unfortunately, this is likely to happen completely without pool table. Whatever undertaker smokes rain barrel, stop poking the sideboard with varnished shoes and form yourself into neat lines without Samantha Fox.
And Leo, you are also worried that you may be dyslexic. You've suspected it since you were at a comprehensive school. You decide to learn to read so that you can find out. You won't be able to learn, and you will presume this means you're dyslexic. In fact, it means you're thick.
Virgo. Business or property matters could be uppermost in your mind this week, Virgo. You may have to sign a contract or a lease. Failure to do so quickly could result in much pain and suffering, and probably irreparable damage to internal organs from the nice men the building society send round.
And Libra, as you sit riddled with rheumatism and racked with bronchitis in the icy wet rat cellar the council have allowed you to live in out of the omnipotent goodness of their hearts of gold, you wonder about the economic boom the Conservatives say we are going through and wonder if it's you. You try to read Oliver Twist, but can't get into topical social commentaries, so you read the Daily Express instead.
Scorpio. Today you will have an almost overpowering urge to act actually believe something you read in the Sun. Whatever you do, don't panic. Immediate psychiatric help is on hand at any branch of Bupa. That's B-U-P-A, Bupa. Because Bupa cares. You'll find the address of your nearest Bupa hospital on page 16 of today's Sun.
And Sagittarius, that rash isn't just an allergy. Better get it seen to, however acutely embarrassing it may be.
And lastly, Capricorn, you go out on your first day as a police officer and are insulted and abused by everyone in the shopping precinct. This reminds you of your first day as a traffic warden, and you will quit the force and become first a double-glazing salesman, then a Jehovah's Witness. You become embittered and determined to find a job where you can get away with murder and still be treated with respect. Good luck as leader of the Conservative Party, Capricorn.
And now back to Fletcher Christian in the studio.
Whoever it is, Fletcher Christian, never heard of him. Jerry.
Excellent. Thanks to Cooger and Dark. A quick tit around the studio, ladies and gentlemen, please. Yes, that's probably all it deserved. I think.
Can we get no, I thought it was brilliant, but
Yes.
I thought it was marvellous. But I was still Cooger and Dark. Can you explain to me the Nobel Prize for physics? I didn't get that one at all. It was about halfway through. Do you remember it?
Oh, my word.
You see, Fletcher...
You know, it's simple.
I'll
you know,
talk...
go slow.
I'll talk slow. You see,
Right.
the Irish pickpocket stole a wallet,
Right.
and the wallet contained a ticket.
Uh-huh.
The ticket was to get into the Nobel Prize ceremony, you see, and the only... Come back, Gerald.
Yes,
Forgive
I'm
me.
sorry about this.
Richard, I'll give you a quid for a joke.